when I woke up with a morning coffee. Then, over a decade ago, I moved overseas to the beautiful city of Sarajevo in southern Europe, where I live with my wife and son. Of course, I brought Seneca along for the adventure, and once settled here, I developed a new habit. After working in the morning, I'd stroll down the hill and read Seneca during lunch, next to some ancient Roman inscriptions housed in a local museum. Now, when possible, on my perfect kind of morning, I'll go out and have breakfast with Seneca, hence the title of this book. After dropping my son at school and working out in the gym, I pick up a filter coffee with milk and settle down at a table at Hotel Central, a magnificent building from Austro-Hungarian times. There I pull out an e-reader with Seneca's complete letters and his other writings, and order an omelet. That's my favorite morning ritual. No one has any idea what I'm reading, let alone that I'm most often reading the same author, but I can usually get through 1 or 2 letters before heading home. Seneca stressed how philosophy and friendship should go together. As he wrote, "The first promise of real philosophy is a feeling of fellowship, sympathy, and community with others." Because Seneca's principal works are letters and essays written for specific Roman friends in an intimate and conversational style, a spirit of friendship permeates his writings. Seneca believed that real philosophy is a joint undertaking. It's not something we do alone, but a journey we undertake with others. That's why he wrote the letters in the first place. But this idea goes back at least to Socrates, for whom philosophy and dialogue were a shared journey, a collaboration between friends. Of course, I'm not talking about what philosophy has become in the modern academic world, which is something quite different. But philosophy in ancient times was closely allied with friendship. If it were possible to restore that connection today, it would be a happy development. It's easy for modern readers to feel friendship with Seneca also, due to the details of his personal life that he shares in some of his letters. While the letters themselves, written during the last 2 or 3 years of his life, are devoted to practical philosophy and what it means to live a good life, Seneca confided many personal details to his friend Lucilius. What it's like to be old, details about his travels and other annoyances, how he almost died from an asthma attack, and the crazy behavior of people in Roman society. Seneca, who had lived among the wealthiest and most powerful people in Rome, was a chief advisor to the Emperor Nero, so he saw every kind of bad behavior, including political assassinations. Despite the very high level of interest in Stoicism today, no one has written a book explaining Seneca's teachings for the general reader, even though he's been called the most compelling and elegant of the Stoic writers. I hope this book will fill that void and provide a bird's-eye view of his thinking. Seneca is very consistent in his thinking, but his ideas about specific topics are scattered across hundreds of pages. This book might satisfy the entire curiosity of some readers about Seneca's philosophy, but those who wish to continue on to Seneca's actual writings, or to host their own breakfasts with Seneca, may this guide serve as a helpful companion on that quest. David Fideler. Introduction. A Life Truly Worth Living. Seneca, circa 4 BC to AD 65, was one of the greatest and most learned writers of his time. As an unhappy advisor to the ill-fated regime of the Emperor Nero in Rome, he also became one of the richest men in the world. But the reason most people are interested in Seneca today has to do with something else. It's because he wrote about Stoic philosophy, which has undergone a tremendous popular revival in recent years. While the Stoic school started in Athens roughly 300 years before Seneca was born, the writings of the Greek Stoics are mostly lost. They only survive in brief quotations or fragments. This makes Seneca the first major Stoic writer whose philosophical works have come down to us in a nearly complete form. He had one